Namaskar. My name is Gauri Shingote and I am a volunteer with Rashtriya Lifesaving Society of India. This is an interview and an opportunity I've got to interview our founder, president, Rear Admiral Purushottam Sharma. Welcome, sir. It's really an honor to have you here and to be able to interview you for Foundation Day of RLSS. Would you like to start with the questions straight away?
No, I would like to say that the importance of the 2nd of August is known to everybody, in the sense that was the day when RLSSI, or Rashtriya Lifesaving Society of India, was conceived and launched. It took up a year or two thereafter, but the fact is that in our minds, a bunch of people had decided that this is what we were going to do to contain the attrition of the youth particularly and loss of lives across the country.
So it's an amazing ideology behind the entire concept of RLSSI, and I think as a volunteer I am truly proud to be a part of it. But I was just thinking, you've talked about youth attrition and accidents, and what exactly is safety? What is safety for a person according to you?
Well, safety, let's face it, we talk about personal safety is self-preservation.
Right.
And for all that, I think you need to have a sort of a mindset. And that promotes you to look for a danger and then avoid them. If you can't see a danger, then you get into it and suffer. But if you are conscious, and you're safety conscious particularly, then you're actually looking for dangers in the making. And if you can see them, then you are one up on the dangers themselves. Because you will not only avert them, but you will make other people also aware of them and save lives in plural rather than just yourself. So safety is, as I said, is a mindset, and safety consciousness is something that emanates from your thinking that saving lives is important, and we must, for the simple reason that we are a big country,
Right.
and even then losing the rate that we are losing lives is not a good sign of that matter good news. So we've got to do something about it.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right, and from what I understand, you're talking about being alert and being conscious of your surroundings, and that's what is the crux of safety.
Yes.
I think that's really good. So, taking that premise, what does it mean by think safety first? And
Well, let's look at it this way. You have a life to live, and consequently you want to live it well, and not with a broken limb or half your limbs gone. So you can prevent that, but by being safety conscious and moving around, living safely, whether it's in the house, on the road, in the river, wherever. But self-preservation is something should be a priority as far as your considerations are concerned.
Absolutely. I think you've hit it on the nail, and this should resonate with everybody. I think our viewers would definitely agree with that. In the same tone, I've been reading a lot about what we do in terms of a concept that you've come out with called Surrogation Bharat. Could you give me some sort of insight into that, and our viewers insight into what Surrogation Bharat is?
Surrogation Bharat is a dream. And that dream involves a lot of activity. For instance, internationally, it's a stigma against unfortunate stigma against the country that life is cheap in India. So Surrogation Bharat tells you to add value to life. There are a number of ways of doing it. One of them, most important, is being safety conscious. I cannot understand why wearing a helmet by two-wheelers and putting on safety belts in the car should be resisted. If it is that they lack safety consciousness and care a damn about personal safety and personal, preservation of life. So those are the issues that we talk about. When I talk about Surrogation Bharat, I say it's a dream. We're talking about erasing the stigma of life achieved in India.
Right.
And I've been thinking as to how to inculcate this safety consciousness in a person. I have tried many a time to show them pictures of accidents, whether it's the road. I even show them or simulating a drowning person, etc. But it hasn't hit as much as I wished it would. So the idea is that teach them first aid. And that is when you teach them how to fix or how to deal with a broken limb or profuse bleeding or interruption in breathing as such, breathing and bones broken, etc., etc. I guess the person who's listening to you suddenly said, my God, it could happen to me. I better be careful. I think I passed my message there, loud and clear. So the more I teach people in life-saving skills, perhaps the more lifesaver I'm making. And the more lifesaver we have, we are adding value to life. And if we add value to life, we finally come to Surakshit Bharat.
Fantastic. That's an amazing dream, and I think we're well on our path to realizing that in small increments. That's really nice. Now I'm going to shift a little bit because it is the Olympic season. So sports is the new big thing, and sports has always been one way of nations competing against each other in a very friendly manner. And I know as life-saving sports is a component of the life-saving that we talk about with our audience. So what is the importance? Why is life-saving sports important as a part of life-saving itself?
Well, that's very simple. See, when I get a bunch of young kids and I tell them, learn life-saving, learn first aid, I don't see, a spontaneous reaction to do so. They say, "ठीक है sir, कर देंगे जब मौका मिलेगा वगैरह वगैरह," because they think that accident will not happen to them. It always happens to the other guy. All right. The moment they begin to realize that can happen to me, he is a different person. He is not only good for himself, but he is also good for the community, because thinking safety, thinking first aid, thinking life preservation and so forth. Now, not me, but I would say the organizations that had started life-saving as a concept hundreds of years ago, about 100, 125 years ago, they faced the same problem. And eventually, one fine day, a bunch of them got together and they said, let's invent something that we can attract the youth with. Life-saving sport is a direct result of their effort. The interesting part is, you can't play this game until you're a lifesaver.
Right.
So you have to do first aid, you have to do all the water exercises, and name it, you do it. And finally, you get to play this game where each event is based on a life-saving skill. So आपने पहले तो सीख लिया, first aid सीख लिया, life-saving सीख ली, और उसके बाद आपने event में हिस्सा लेना शुरू कर दिया. And at the same time, when you're playing the game, you're actually demonstrating and doing it, playing those events and demonstrating how you can look after a person, deal with a person, should he be facing a problem,
right.
Physical, mental, or spiritual.
Right. I think you've just encapsulated the entire ideology to attract youth. And this is such a fantastic platform to have the youth come in, learn a skill that will help them the rest of their lives, obviously, and be a part of a sport or a team that showcases all the things that they've learned. I think this has been truly honored to interview you with so much of really good information.
Well, thank you so much being with us. And it's nice to speak with you and shooting those questions to me.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving me that opportunity.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So there you have it. An amazing honor to have and speak with Sir here. So is there any message that you'd like to give our viewers, the young audience that we have, and, give your blessings for the same thing?
Well, let's look at it this way. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at preserving one's life, I think is the most important aspect for each individual. As far as we people are concerned, youth in our country is a great asset. We are proud of it. Even the Prime Minister boasts about the fact that 60% of his country is young. And when we begin to lose those lives, it hurts. All that I have to say to you is, please be safety conscious. Learn to recognize danger. Face to face, yes, you will see it is happening. But learn to recognize the danger in the making. Then you can prevent it and avert it. Your safety is important to us because you are valuable. I consider the youth who are running around regardless of the conditions of weather or whatever, the inclement weather and rain, hell-high water or rain as the word goes, you guys are on the move. Because unless you move, the country doesn't move. And often I refer to you, ladies and gentlemen, particularly.
So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you and learn so much more than what you've already taught me. Thank you for being here, and I know the viewers are very grateful to have that knowledge that you impart every time. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Gauri. Anytime.
Thank you.
As far as life saving is concerned, it's not only a part of my work, it's my life. I want people to live.
Right, sir.
I want people to live well. And as far as I'm concerned, they must always get after a cause and follow it to the letter. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.